HodlHodl is a marketplace that allows for peer-to-peer trading of Bitcoin with a variety of different payment methods around the globe. Now, the key draw to HodlHodl would be that you can trade without any KYC requirements. Now, on the opposite side of that, of course, you have to contend with higher premiums, and you have to be careful who you deal with because scammers can also use the website, and so you need to rely on things like the rating system in order to choose your partners correctly. Well, today we're going to take a look at how to use HodlHodl and walk you through all these steps. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session.
HodlLEDN Bitcoin.
Before we dive in, quick shout out to sponsors of the show, Shakepay.com. If HodlHodl isn't for you, then Shakepay.com within Canada is a super easy way to grab yourself some Bitcoin. Easy e-transfer deposits, no deposit fees, no withdrawal fees, thin spread. And if you use the link down below, after your first $100 purchase, they'll give you $30 for free. You get the same deal if you refer friends and family, and you can then shake your phone every single day for free sats. They also have a sats-back Visa card that I highly recommend checking out. Up next, we have LEDN.io. You can use your Bitcoin for a variety of different services. In particular, if you're in a pinch, you need dollars, but you don't want to sell your Bitcoin, well, you can deposit here, get a loan of dollars to your bank account within 24 hours. And when you pay back those dollars, you get back the same amount of Bitcoin. They also have savings accounts for Bitcoin and USDC, and they have their B2X offering if you're feeling pretty bullish. Again, you can check them out in the show notes down below. Now, living on Bitcoin is incredibly easy when you use Bitrefill. They have gift cards, pretty much any gift card you can imagine in a ton of different countries, and you can buy them with Bitcoin, both on-chain and via the Lightning Network. You earn sats back as you shop, and if you want to earn back even more sats, you can use the referral program as well. They are down in the show notes. Now, you guys know Keystone, one of my favorite and most used hardware wallets. It is 100% air-gapped, meaning you never plug it into anything internet connected. Everything's done offline via QR code, and that keeps the keys to your money safe and away from internet connections. I highly recommend you upgrade to the Bitcoin-only firmware because then it works beautifully with things like Blue Wallet, Sparrow, Spectre, and it's really, really great in a multi-sig for sure. So check it out, and I do have a full tutorial on that as well. And finally, if you're backing up any important Bitcoin wallet, be sure to get it in solid steel. Paper backups don't quite cut it. Fire damage, water damage, accidentally discarding the thing. When you have it in solid steel with the BillFodl, then those worries tend to disappear. This is how I back up all of my important Bitcoin wallets. So check them out again over at privacypros.io. And with that, let's dive into the tutorial. So here we are on the HodlHodl website. I have already signed up here. I'm already logged into a profile that I control, and the long and the short of it is you need email address and password, and then it will also, and two-factor authentication, and then it will also ask you just some questions in regards to the preferences, like your trading preferences, locales, all that kind of stuff. Now, what you see here on the main page, I just want to outline, and then we'll get into actually going into buying or selling Bitcoin. We are not going to be touching on the lending portion of HodlHodl today. And before we do a full outline of what's in front of us, let's just take a look. I really wanted to quickly outline how HodlHodl works. So basically, a contract is created to buy or sell Bitcoin by yourself or another individual. And when somebody agrees to take that contract, HodlHodl will generate a unique multi-sig escrow for it. From there, the seller will deposit the Bitcoin into escrow directly from their wallet. So at this point, HodlHodl will have one of the keys to that escrow multi-sig where the Bitcoin will sit. From there, the buyer will then pay the seller according to the agreed upon payment method. And then as soon as that happens to the seller's satisfaction, the seller will release the Bitcoin from multi-sig escrow directly to the buyer's designated wallet. So more or less what happens here is that HodlHodl is only ever involved as a portion of a multi-sig escrow. They don't actually have full control of funds at any time. And if a dispute emerges, then each side can present their case as to what has happened, and HodlHodl can release the funds accordingly. In no way is the person with the Bitcoin or the person selling the Bitcoin, if they are trying to screw somebody over, then more or less that immutable way of sending Bitcoin is never at risk because of the escrow there and HodlHodl being able to step in as an arbiter there. Regardless, let's take a look again at what is in front of us. Really simple. Up top, you have options to buy Bitcoin, you have options to sell, and of course there's the lending tab, which we're not going to touch on. You have your contracts, so anything that is in the process of being bought or sold. You also have your offers, which are offers that you have set up but are not yet active, that are not yet taken. That you can get to your dashboard from here. Your notifications are up top. You have a button down below to create offers if you'd like to do so. And then down below, you see other people's offers for buying and selling Bitcoin. You can click on any of this from the main page, but we're going to go more into depth into each of these pages in the next step. Let's start with how to buy Bitcoin. So really simply at the top, we're going to click buy BTC. This is going to take you to the buy page. And at this point, you can apply filters to find offers that pertain to you. So you can set your location. Right now, mine is set to Canada, and obviously there's a small number of offers right there. But if I wanted to open it up to global offers, I can hit apply filters, and I will see a whole bunch of different options that I have in terms of what I'd like. You can also set amounts. You can set a payment window in terms of how quickly you'd like somebody to be able to pay. The payment type, right now they list it as bank wire, cash, cryptocurrency, or online payment system. And depending on the payment type, you can also see different payment methods. So within Canada, one of them is Interac e-transfer. That is typically pretty easy, which I believe is...
A few moments later.
Had to redesignate for Canada there, but anyways, it is online payment. And then if I scroll down, I can see Interac e-transfer. And if I want to apply those filters, they will show up and say, hey, here are the offers that are within those metrics you have dictated. From here, I can click on an offer to take it, which we will do momentarily. Or I can also create my own offer, which we will take a look at momentarily. But for right now, I'm going to choose this option down below. This is an individual that I've dealt with before, so I know that this should go smoothly. But one thing I wanted to point out, when you're looking at an offer, you'll see the price per coin in your designated currency, okay? It will also show you the minimum and maximum amount you can purchase from this user. It will show the payment methods available, the location, any titles that were attributed to this particular offer, and then it will show the trader, and it will show you the rating and the number of trades that they have. This individual, Pepe Le Pew, happens to have a 100% rating with over 100 trades. That's pretty damn good. And then they get a little award if they've, are favorably rated on the platform. It says strong hodler. If I want more info, I can actually, and I'll open it up in a new tab here, but I can actually go to the person's profile. I can see, hey, they are indeed in Canada. They do have a local Bitcoins profile that is linked here. So if I want to go and check that out, their average payment times and release times are very, very quick. The last trade was today. And then it has a little description here, attributed, any reviews down below I can see, and I can, expand that and see all that I want. Any disputes that were started or and or resolved, and I can see basically everything has been resolved. 100% rating. Trade volume has been between 1 and 5 Bitcoin, so it's not like they've been doing, you know, $5 at a time or something. So this all looks good to me. If you do have issues, you can always report a user or block a user. And I will say that I've had to do that in the past with another shady user that, you know, they didn't have the track record and everything just seemed a little off to me. So I ended up just blocking the person. Okay, so be cautious as you're doing stuff like this. But regardless, let's take a look at this actual offer. I'm going to click on it. And so it says, again, all of the information that I knew before, the price per coin. Now, in terms of how does this equate, I believe right now in Canada, Bitcoin is somewhere in the mid 59,000 range. I did a calculation earlier. That's about a 7% premium, if I'm not mistaken. But I also don't know what exchange they're pulling their percentage from. So, you know, just based on what I looked up, that's what it seems to be. It could be 5. I'm not sure. But that's pretty par for the course for getting peer-to-peer non-KYC Bitcoin, just so you know. All right. If that's for you, great. If it's not, that's fine too. Okay. So down below, I need to say how much I want to buy. And we'll just say $100. Okay. And it says you're going to get this much Bitcoin. And then it says what's going to the buyer, what the trading fee is, because HodlHodl obviously takes a small trading fee from that. Fiat trading fee deduction of 25 cents. Yeah, so basically all of it is added up and tallied here. The release address would be your address that you are receiving to. Now, I did set this up prior to the video, but you can change this out at any point and paste in a new one. I just on the other screen, I have my test wallet that I use for all my tutorials, and there's that address right there that I was using. You can see it ends with a J9 there, but you can just copy and paste any Bitcoin address that you like. And then I choose a payment method, and he's got one here, and Interact e-transfer is what I'd like to use. Okay, perfect. Now, the users will typically explain the specifics of how they would like this trade to go, anything that you're required to do, so on and so forth. Now, I've used this person before, so they're familiar with me, but this guy has very much fleshed out every possible thing that he could think of. And this person is in the midst of creating a bot that will automate a lot of this for him. So kudos to this dude. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to accept the offer and create a contract. I'll just say I'm back, and I'll accept and create the contract. Okay. So at this point, it will tell you exactly what you need to do in the top right here with the spinning wheel. It says, in order to generate an escrow, both counterparties need to confirm their payment passwords. The seller will then be able to deposit the funds into the newly generated escrow address. To do that, you'll first need to confirm your payment password. It's important to remember the password is the only way to unlock funds to escrow. So I'm going to hit generate escrow, and then I'm just going to enter a password here. Then I have to type it one more time and confirm. Perfect. Okay, so I've now confirmed my payment password. They need to do the same on their end. And there is a chat here. So anything that's necessary or any sort of communication can take place in here. So I imagine I'll see a message in a bit, or I will be updated with whatever's going on as it happens. And so we'll just come back as soon as there's some activity here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so he's already here. He's already in the process of depositing Bitcoin into the escrow wallet. So I guess I don't even need to go away yet. But either way, he's active. This guy's quite responsive, so kudos to him. Damn, you're quick. So yeah, this is a dude I've been interacting with before. He's been great to interact with so far. And again, he's got the track record here, so I'm confident dealing with this person. But again, just be cautious as you deal with people. Look to the track record, and if they don't have a track record and something feels fishy, then maybe just go with somebody else. Okay. So we'll be back as we see more action happen here. So we can now see there's been some action here. I've been chatting back and forth with the individual. They basically said, hey, mining fee is going to be 72 cents. This particular seller has you cover the mining fee, okay, as part of the payment. And then out of that, I can see that the funds are locked in escrow and there has been a single confirmation for them, okay? At this point, it is now on me to go into my online banking and to send a 100 and what was it? It was a $100.72 payment to this individual. Again, it says the payment method, it says the e-transfer is going to this email. So I am going to go ahead and do that. And when I'm done, I'll come back and I'll click I've sent the payment. E-transfer is now sent. So I'm just going to hit I've sent the payment. All right, and status for the contract has changed from in progress to paid. And now we'll just wait for the individual to confirm receipt of the transfer. And at that point, they will release the funds from escrow. And we should see it pop into the wallet that I'm using, which was, if you guys remember, Sparrow. So we'll see that in just a moment. We now have a notification that the funds have been released from escrow. And I can see, by the way, you can click on these here where it says deposit transaction ID and release transaction ID. The release transaction should be the one coming to me. But let's take a look in transactions here. And there we go. HodlHodl test. I've got about 146,768 sats coming in direct from HodlHodl. If I want to, I can also click on this, and it will bring up a Blockstream Explorer where I can see, hey, this is a transaction that is in the process of confirming. So all that looks fantastic. I think I'm all set here. Now, one thing that is very beneficial is if you review the person, it will give you an option to review or update your review if it's changed since the first time. I've already given a good review to Pepe Le Pew and happy to keep working with him. But there we go. Here is our first look at how to buy Bitcoin by accepting an offer. Now, for the remainder of the explanations in how to buy and also on the how to sell side, I'm going to go through a little bit more quickly just so you see examples of how that would work, but without having to go through all of the entire process and wait for people to accept offers that I've created. So just so you know, that's why things are going to go a little bit quicker now. So here we are back on the Buy Bitcoin screen. I just want to show you what it's like to set up your own offer here, okay? So you would say, create your offer, the button there. And this is your creating an offer screen. And actually, the same applies to both buying and selling Bitcoin. All you have to do is designate up top whether you're buying or selling Bitcoin. So just keep that in mind. We'll go through creating an offer and then we'll just take a peek at how you would just sell Bitcoin by, again, accepting an offer, which is pretty self-explanatory now that we've done the other. Regardless, let's say I want to buy Bitcoin. I select that. The next is, hey, what am I looking to do here in terms of you want to make this either you want to break even at the very least, or you want to make it profitable for you. Okay. So if you're buying Bitcoin, ideally, you'd like to pay a little bit below market. Now, whether or not somebody's going to take that offer or not, time will tell. But regardless, we'll go for that. So you can set an exact number here, a certain amount that you're willing to pay above or below or whatever it may be. But it's not the best way to do it. So the best way to do it is to go exchange rate of, okay? Then you're going to choose an exchange, let's say, for example, Coinbase, and designate it in Canadian dollars because that's what I'm dealing with right now. Now, I'm buying Bitcoin here. I would like to buy Bitcoin either at flat market rate, or maybe I could get a bit of a discount in which I could do a minus and change that to -1%. Maybe I could get that, maybe not. But that's what the setting would be. Now, on the sell side, on the opposite side, if I'm selling Bitcoin, I'd maybe like to make a bit of a profit. As we saw in the example, that individual was somewhere between 5 and 7% above the market rate. So you would change this to a plus. You would set your percentage to whatever it may be, and it will auto generate that price based on what the price on Coinbase currently is. So you can make a little bit of profit there. Okay. From here, you're going to select the contract limit. So what's the minimum amount that you're going to buy or sell? Let's say, $100. And what's the max that you're going to buy and sell? Maybe $1,000. Okay. Now, from here, you're going to designate a country if you like, wherever you are located. And it says if country is not specified, the offer will be global. Now, based on what you say for country, it will specify what types of payment methods are available to you. So again, just for an example, I know that Interac e-Transfer is popular here in Canada, so I can pick that. And I've actually previously already set up an instruction name for e-transfer. And it says, hey, so you're sending this to here, and it just has some quick, easy instructions for an individual. I can also add other new payment instructions by clicking here and filling out whatever details I'd like. Now, time constraints, you can say the payment window, how long does a person have to pay? You can also set your working hours, meaning when are you going to be available to actually respond to people that want to be able to utilize your contract. Do not set this when you're not going to be available, because people will become upset. So you can set your working hours between 9 to 5 or whatever it may be. And then you can also set the number of confirmations necessary until the buyer can safely send the agreed upon payment to the seller. And again, you would set that to whatever, one confirmation. If you're not selling large amounts, should be fine. Otherwise, you might want to do 2 or 3. Okay. Some other optional settings down here. And when you're all done, you can hit save, and that offer will then be available. It will show up under my offers. And when somebody accepts it, it will show up under my contracts, and you will go through the purchasing process or selling process with the individual that has accepted your contract. And again, all of it, both buying and selling, is done from the same create new offer screen. And finally, here we are again on the sell Bitcoin screen. If you want to accept an existing offer, again, you can apply all of the filters we talked about before. Down below, you see a whole bunch of different offers available, some anywhere, some from within Canada. So it just depends on what filters you're applying. And when you click into an individual's, whatever it may be, let's say here, you can see all of the details of the contract, how much you'd like to sell, and so on and so forth. And all of that will be available here. Of course, again, you want to double check the person's track record, the number of trades, and all of that. And again, if a contract goes offline or if an offer is no longer available, it will let you know. But all of this can be done from the Sell Bitcoin screen. And alternatively, again, if you're looking to create an offer to sell Bitcoin, you can do that with the button that we used before. Now, I just want to take a quick peek at the dashboard here, which can be accessed at any point from the website by clicking dashboard in the top right. And here there are a few tabs. Now, the general will show you your current trading fee. So right now it's 0.6%. I can see my limit level right now. I have a max one-time trade of 1 Bitcoin. My offers, my active contracts. And again, you'll have limits on the number of offers and contracts that you can have based on how much you've been using the site and kind of your interactions with others. But it says right now I'm limit level 1. If I want to get to level 2, I need to complete 3 more contracts and have half a Bitcoin more in trading volume. Okay. If I scroll down to the bottom, I can see reviews by other traders with reviews of me. And over on the right, I can see trading statistics and average payment time, average release time, last trade date, number of trades, my rating. And again, I've been using this just a little bit, so obviously my stats are low, but they're there. Okay. If we go over to settings, this allows you to change your payment password. You can put in a different default address. I like to put in a new address every single time that I do a trade, and as we saw, you don't need to do that from your settings. You can do that for individual contracts anytime you like. You just copy and paste. But they do ask you to put in a Bitcoin address just in case you forget to do so during a contract. You can change your country, the number of simultaneous contracts, and also important down here, transaction fee type. You can set the default fees that HodlHodl will use on your behalf when releasing stuff from escrow. So mine is just set for medium right now. There's also a referral program, and basically you can share if you have if you have an account on HodlHodl, you can share your referral link, and then that 0.6% trading fee that people pay to HodlHodl, a portion of that will go to you as people use your link. If you care to use my link, you can, but don't feel obligated. I'll leave it in the show notes down below. But basically, you set your percentage that the referral people will pay, and it's not like a 5%, but it's the percent of the fees. So like that fraction of a percent. It would be an additional tiny fraction of that added onto it. Okay. And then finally, you can change your payment methods. You can search all types of payment methods, and then you can add them to your list of payment methods that you use. And you can see, again, there's just pages and pages of possible payment methods available in a ton of different countries. Outside of that, last couple of things to look at, really, all it is your profile, which I'm not going to click because there's some pertinent info there, and then also your notifications, and that just lets you know, hey, what has been the last things that have been going on, and I can see that was my last contract since I was doing that one as we made our purchase. In the end, whether or not you use something like HodlHodl will be decided by your preferences. Would you prefer to have non-KYC Bitcoin traded peer-to-peer? Or would you prefer to be on an exchange for ease of use, for lower fees, and to not have to deal with trying to navigate if there could be a shady person on the other side of the trade? Again, everybody's preferences are going to be different, but I will say that HodlHodl is a good option when it comes to peer-to-peer trading, where you don't have to have all of your information sitting on a database somewhere where it could potentially be compromised down the road. So if that's an important thing to you, then this is worth looking at. I will say again, as you're dealing with individual traders on something like HodlHodl, please be cautious, look to their ratings, and if something feels fishy, best to maybe just back off and deal with somebody else. That's been my policy moving forward. I believe I dodged a bullet early on, and then I found a good trader like I just interacted with in this example. Also, this may be a potentially profitable proposition for a number of people that may just want to buy and sell Bitcoin on a peer-to-peer exchange like this and manage to scrape a few percent on either side of those trades. So if you want to do that, then you can of course sign up, and you can maybe begin providing liquidity to HodlHodl and to other people in your region that are interested in buying and selling Bitcoin without having to divulge too much personal information. So with that, I will leave it there. I'd love for you guys to tell me what you think of HodlHodl and what other platforms are you using. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please do hit like, subscribe, share, all those things. Incredibly important. They really do help get this content in front of more eyeballs. If you want to help the show in another way, you can hit up the sponsors I mentioned down below: Shakepay, LEDN, Bitrefill, Keystone, BillFodl. They're all down here. And if you really liked what you saw, you can always hit me up with a Bitcoin tip. either on Twitter or at my Strike page. That is strike.me/BTC sessions. When you get there, you type in any amount you like, you hit the tip button, you'll be greeted with a Lightning invoice, or if you prefer, tap to the right and you'll see a regular Bitcoin QR code. You can also check out my link if you want to try out HodlHodl in the show notes down below. With that, I am out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening, wherever you may be. See you guys next time for your daily session.
HodlHodl Bitcoin.